There are sacred spaces, and Bellarmine is one of them. We hear that practically every weekend. Bellarmine was built in 3 different stages. The original manor house is now almost 100 years old.
It was the very first retreat in 1948 that the retreatants made a resolution, actually a written resolution, to say, we want everyone to be able to come to Bellarmine and experience a retreat regardless of their ability to fund their retreat.
In the 50s, the Jesuits expanded the retreat house from the original manor home and built the now central portion of the building that contains the Sacred Heart Chapel, the dining room, and a 2-story wing of bedrooms.
Now, on the cornerstone of our chapel is Joseph and Edith Droll. My mom and dad were Joseph and Edith, and it just tickled me that the major donors for our chapel were Joseph and Edith Droll. And to be able to discover that picture in our archives just sent shivers down my spine.
In 2003, the Conference Center dream became a reality. This addition ensured the future of our Kairos retreat ministry. James and Carolyn Beck are the generous donors who made it possible, and we now have over 1,500 high school students that attend a Kairos retreat at Bellarmine each year. Between 2011 and 2018, Bellarmine had 8 plumbing failures. The pipes were disintegrating behind the walls.
In 2018, there was one in the front entrance foyer right over the statue of St. Robert Bellarmine, and that one caused actually significant damage to the ceiling, and that was a waste pipe.
We're going to be ripping out the floor and the walls on the 2nd and 3rd floor, basically taking the 2nd and 3rd floor of the manor house down to the studs, replacing all of the water pipes, the heating pipes. So we're putting in all new furniture, we're putting in a sprinkler system.
We also wanted to ensure our front door would be accessible to everyone, which meant significant changes to our front entrance.
We're raising the level of the patio. It used to be lower with a step up. So now the patio is going to be raised up to the floor level. So when you come out of the building, you're on a flat level surface. These columns are going to be removed, raised, new columns put in, and then this will come out to a level landing area that has steps that come down, and then our accessible ramp will go off to the side here of the building. This existing stair that goes to the basement is going to be removed and abandoned, and we're going to have to add a new stair to the north lawn.
It's been such a blessing that all of our retreatants are now able to safely use the beautiful and iconic front entrance. Inside of the retreat house, we found a number of surprises that we were not expecting.
See this big black piece of steel down here, which wasn't shown on any of the old house drawings that we had, and you would never think that this house had large pieces of steel in this. You know, building a house 100 years ago, you wouldn't typically see something like this. So what this meant was, you can see this piping is for the new sprinkler system, and the plan was to come down the wall, get into the floor cavity, and then go both directions. But because this beam is here, we have to come down the wall on this side and go through the floor cavity, and then we have to go across the ceiling up there and come down the other side and then go north on that side. What we found over here, which we weren't anticipating, is another giant steel beam. So we're going to have to route around this. The whole reason we're doing this is so we can sprinkle the first floor, and we don't want to tear open all the old ceilings on the first floor, so we have to feed it from above up here on the 2nd floor. So it's turned into quite a bit of gymnastics for the fire sprinkler installer.
Yet, thanks be to God, the prayers, gifts, and hard work of hundreds of people, we were able to stay within our $4 million budget to complete the Manor Home renovation project on time in September of 2020. This included updating the bathrooms as well as transforming 24 bedrooms with beautiful new furniture and finishes to create prayerful and contemplative space, which we expect retreatants will enjoy for decades to come.
So please come back to Bellarmine, register for your next retreat, enjoy this beautiful and sacred place.
All of this is made possible by the grace of God and the goodness and generosity that flowed from 75 years of ministry. Together, the Jesuits, staff, retreatants, donors, volunteers, and Holy Spirit share in the mission of the Retreat House, that is the spiritual development of people of faith. We abound in gratitude. Thank you, and may Bellarmine continue to be a sacred space for decades to come.